Hey, welcome to another episode of Echoes in Exile, where you got me, Spooker, Mr. Barricade, Reaper, and Hberg LT to sit or stand and talk about some wonderful things all about Path of Exile. Two, primarily, but I think we're going to throw some one in there because we do have some news as far as a launch date. So, Hberg, we were just discussing kind of things to talk about, so why don't you dive into that topic right away and let's hear the start of experiences with what we have new towers, the new tower system, I guess you could say.
Beautiful, yeah. Pretty easy. I mean, I find it a lot more convenient. It's definitely less tedious work. So for those who haven't been caught up since the last update, towers are no longer able to be imbued by tablets to affect your maps. Now you're using tablets directly into your waystones, and there's up to 3 slots depending on how many modifiers you have on it. So what comes along with this is certainly more tablet farming, allocating Atlas points here to see more precursor tablets within your maps, which is all right. And perhaps a little bit more micromanaging, because of course it is from map to map. Towers still do exist. They are specifically only there to uncover more map exposure. Now,
Exactly. They still have a use of some tablets, at least one that I know of.
The Grand Project,
yeah, Grand Project, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, my mistake. So me personally, I'll get some feedback from you guys here in a bit. I personally I actually do like the change. I think this is a better change. I've been seeing a lot of comments in the chat saying they find it a little bit too grindy in terms of tablets itself, and they are allocating more points. They're allocating points to find precursor tablets, but they're just not really hitting the ones they want. Even if they do the activity, they'll still be finding regular precursor tablets, like radiated maps. Even though they still have ritual activities in there, and they're just not having good luck dropping the specific ones. So they feel like because you cannot influence so many maps in an area, they're not able to do these activities so much. And I am not personally having the same problem, because I usually have my I'll either buy them, or I have my 3 that I usually stick to, which is Ritual, Breach, and Radiated to get the +1. That's usually my go-to. So me personally, haven't been finding that to be an issue very much. But overall, I think this is a great change. One thing I would like to see probably is I had a little fun idea to actually get precursor tablets that will also change the biome, just to switch it up for fun, right? Either there's a modifier that'll say can apply a new random biome, or it'll say will I guess you could say transform the biome, say, to grass, or or forestry, or even beach, or something like that. So that was a pretty cool idea, a concept we were talking about there in the chat. So I hope hopefully some people there would agree. I think it'd be kind of cool as well. And also, last point on this topic is, I personally find it better for just allocating a lot more resources into boosting up one map, especially in terms of rarity, because with the changes to the modifiers on rarity rolls as well, it's much better. So I've actually had I've been doing a lot of hardcore solo recently, but for the 3 days that I did blast the changes to the new Atlas system, I was actually finding a lot more drops in terms of rarity of currency than I was before then, because I was able to actually utilize my omens there, right? The omens of rarity and stuff a little bit better, and monster density and whatnot. And I definitely saw a very, very good positive change there. So overall, I think this latest patch and update and changes has been a W for me. Curious what you guys think, though. Reaper, have you had a chance to rock the new Atlas changes at all very much? Because I know you just went through a move and you're all set up there looking snazzy in your new setup, of course. You're rocking the shades here today, so that's a nice little extra touch.
It's gotta be bright as fuck in that room, no?
Yeah.
Right?
So what about yourself?
I don't know if you guys just heard, but they're doing lawn maintenance outside, and it just came by the window, so that's why I got up, shut the window.
We didn't hear it.
No, you're good.
As far as mapping in game, no, sir, no, sorry. But I have played right before the move because I like you said I just moved. I was playing a lot, and then it I wanted to dig deeper into what are they called,
Abyssal?
the abyssal. I wanted to dig deeper into that and find more
Beautiful.
information. And it's crazy that how it linked, because I don't know, as a new player to PoE2, and I never played PoE1, it all linked back to, PoE1 where they had abyssal or the abyss, and but I guess they changed it completely going into PoE2, so it's technically not the same at all. And from what I was gathering, you used to have to chase it back and forth and do all this and that, and it was monotonous. But I'm really curious into more of how the bones work, because I still don't quite understand that, but I'm working on that. That's where I'm at right now.
Well,
But I'm having
All right.
That's easy. We can
All right,
cover that in this episode. I'm sure we have listeners, we've had plenty of comments and listeners and people in chat asking these similar questions because there is
collarbone, jawbone, rib cage, etc.
There's plenty of people that don't have access to map yet because they're still doing exactly what you're doing. They don't have 8 to 10 hours a day to play, or they don't, even if they do have more time, they're still not as qualified to push through the campaign super fast, or they're exploring every nook and cranny of the map along the way, or getting their cheeks clapped by the abyss content, whatever it is.
Now,
all the above. Maybe they're playing too much Battlefield 6. Who knows?
No, Hberg, I have seen some videos on the changes being made. We talked a little bit last time on the towers. We'll discuss more this time because there's a lot more happening. But it seems like, and if I'm not mistaken, because I mentioned the bones and stuff like that, they made a little bit of changes to those too, right? Or am I wrong?
It's entirely new.
Okay, yes. So, I mean, I've seen a little bit about the in game and about the mapping changes that they've done, and it all sounds like everybody's really happy with it. So, and like you were just saying, and on your experience with this so far, it sounds like it's really good.
Yep.
So,
well, we're gonna hear if Barricade and Spooker are happy with it. Okay, what do you think so far? Atlas changes. This is the last patch.
Yeah, so far so good. But going into it, there was a really important line in the patch that said that they were going to maintain and persist any buffs that we had on the Atlas going into this patch. So my first goal was to juice as many towers as I could with additional ritual content, and then I would just double dip my tablets, which is what I've been doing. And so it's been completely lucrative, fantastic, only to find out in 0.3.1b that there was a bit of an issue. So I wasn't really appreciating the extra, I guess, effects as much as it was meant to be. So I'll only get that in the new undiscovered regions of the Atlas, which is fine because I was double dipping the whole time. So where I'm at is, okay, first of all, to answer your question, I don't want to deviate. I think it's good. I think we should definitely talk about the people's opinions where they feel like it's too much work. I'd love to hear more about the opinions you guys are getting on that one. I do think that the ugliest update I've ever seen in Path of Exile 2 happened here, which is these crazy huge numbers on top of tablets. Like if you guys have a quad tab full of tablets, it just looks like spaghetti numbers. It's just so gross. And I know there's a way to make that look better. There's such beautiful artwork on these tablets, and my God, it's just a huge 11. It just doesn't look great. And so I think it's a Band-Aid approach. It's not a finality thing. It's not the final version, but that's an artistic comment. I had to make that. I think it's good overall. I don't mind it. If I want to challenge myself against the content, I get more modifiers to do so. Okay. And that's complete player agency, which I love. I love the idea that you as a person could always scale up the difficulty within reason to get additional rewards if you want to take on that adventure. This allows for that to be the case. I think that's good without having to traverse 3 nodes to get to the event towers and then expose that event to everything else. So I'm a fan of it. I'm a fan. I've been liking it a lot, but much like you, Hberg, I have fallen victim into this position where I no longer am getting the same vibe from softcore as I was. I've got everything I want on my character. I can dominate the game. There's not a mode that exists that we can't melt. So I found myself pushing into Solo Self-Found Hardcore, and that has got the dopamine going. That's got the adrenaline rush going. I am loving that mode. I love that shit. But that is something hopefully we talk about later on the podcast. As far as this goes, it's been a very enjoyable update to me, and I'm glad that it's there. So
Beautiful.
Spooker, who's coming in live on remote location with his setup for us. That's why he sounds a bit different, guys. He's getting ready for TwitchCon, which is going on this week as of the time of this podcast. So Spooker,
Super
nestled in
pumped.
there. Super pumped. Tell us.
Can't wait. Hope to see
What are
some
your
of our
thoughts?
viewers there and listeners there as well this weekend. Make sure you look out
right.
for us there, and be an absolute pleasure to meet you. Spooker, take it away, my man.
Give it to us. What do you got?
So, as you guys know, I was not really the biggest fan of mapping. I didn't care for it, and it was exactly the most common reason upon a lot of other people. We didn't like chasing the multi-tower setups to randomly optimize maps, so we didn't have very much control, and that's what I didn't like. I like going in there, elbow deep, knee deep into the demons, monsters, kicking their ass, right? It didn't really matter, but to get the best out of our content, we couldn't really do that. So you find one tower and it's like, oh man, I don't want to waste my time on these. You find two towers, like, okay, it's a little better, but okay, three towers, okay, now this is where we do our setup. You can spend 45 minutes setting up. I think the first reaction to the map change before we ever got any experience was pretty negative. People are like, oh, this is just a nerf to mapping, which in a small sense, I will agree. You can't quite super juice things as easily, but I don't know if you guys follow X the Farmer X. He was doing some super juicing bosses. I think he was doing like wisp juices, and he was taking turns pulling people in and just watching these like mere tier and better builds that are just getting one shot and clapped. And it was the most hilarious thing to watch, because it's like, oh, you can't juice maps as much? Oh, well, let me prove you wrong. So that was cool to see. But as far as my overall experience, I actually feel good going into each map, going the direction that I want, zooming where I want, and we still have use of towers, so they didn't like completely remove it. But I will agree, I do think we need a better solution to the multi-tablet, and I think a really good solution for this would be get rid of the multi-uses on the tablets and give us 10 times the drops of tablets, because they already moved it in the Scarabs. That's basically what it is, which I'm fine with, but give us better allocations so that when we do get a dash tab for them, it's not going to be just another map tab where we have to go through and sort and basically spend just as much time trying to figure out how and where and which tablet's the best. And
I agree.
So interesting. So you're advocating for more of the Scarab approach than the multi-use precursor tablet approach.
Not necessarily.
When you said, let me understand, because you said you want to get rid of the multi-uses on the precursor tablet, but have more precursor tablet dropping, and then you liken that to Scarab. So what did you mean by that, unless I misunderstood?
So no, you're right. I just think that they were already gearing towards the Scarab approach, which we already know this is more of a Band-Aid fix. It's not like their permanent solution. They're gonna adjust it.
We hope. Right.
Of course. But as you said, looking at a quad tab of precursors, which I've had the luxury of doing, it's like, which one am I looking for? What am I looking at? So
yeah. Okay. And has everybody I don't know if everybody has in the call. Has everybody tried, or even anybody listening, have you guys tried Scarabs before in Path of Exile 1's mapping system, like the Endgame? Did you guys try that?
No.
Okay, so in essence, it's you just choose additional there's a screen full of options that you could adjust to a map, and you could affect that map. We're going to call it juicing more from, this is Path of Exile 1, by the way, more if you have more map tab map slot allocations available that you would have only got if you did endgame content. So you beat this big boss, you can add another Scarab type. If you end up doing this one activity, you get another Scarab type, and you can add that to your atlas. Without that, you're limited to I think it's 4, like the map plus 3 more. So as you play more and you get stronger, you could then adjust the juice to be even more, so you wouldn't be overwhelmed every time. But the benefits are enormous as to what you can do, and they play very well at the end game. So that's what he's talking about, and I've used both. And I got to tell you, like the Scarabs feel, in my opinion, I agree with Spooker, much leaner, much more efficient, and they trade better. Like they're just better, a better tool. So I would agree personally. Yeah, yeah, cool. Now, what do you guys think about the change for your mapping in the Atlas? I know Reaper, you can't speak on this one just yet, but for the guys that can, so you're running maps now. You don't see the rare icon, but you have to kill a boss in every map, and then your map's done. All you have to do is kill that boss. What do you guys think about that change? Has that been good for you?
So I personally think it still kind of feels the same, because even before I would always complete my other activities first, just in case, something happened there. Maybe you I don't know, for whatever reason, maybe you slipped up and you got your cheeks clapped there. Boom, all the activities are gone. Right, especially before. It's also coming from a habit where I wasn't very, very thick on defenses yet, playing on a relatively squishier build. So it's just a habit that I built up, and it's just so far it's the same method for me. Same method. So not
talk
too much
about
to
a guy
on there.
Okay, talk about a guy who's struggling with defenses, trying to make something work. Can we get our hats off and hands forward for this man, Spooker, trying to make this Mjolnir build work and just struggling? Like, tell us about your adventure on this crazy build that
just struggling.
Dude, he's maxed on resistances. He's got as much HP as he can afford on what I'm not even going to call a budget build, but he's putting in the effort.
Leech.
Dude, he's doing it right, and it just doesn't equate. And so that's been the viewer experience from a guy who's in the lab, so to speak. And he cannot call in Odin's son fast enough on this Mjolnir. He can't do it. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about the struggle, this current patch. Go ahead.
So Spooker, hold on. For what it's worth, I will say, I think it's a pretty freaking cool build.
Oh, it's
I think it's a cool build too.
It's fun. And I think as you trade your gear in for more damage, so the original idea of the build was built on a Huntress. So they had the extra ring slot and the extra ring boost, so they were giving their Bone Shatter, because for those of you that don't know, I'm basically using Bone Shatter as my primary spell. I am a fully cast on melee build, so I have 2 Mjolnirs with cast lightning spell on melee hit, and then I have the Smith of Kitava Ascendancy, which might be up in the air. That might be changing.
Okay.
We have the Smith of Kitava Ascendancy node that gives you a cast fire spell on melee. And for any of you that have played Path of Exile 2, we just don't have a variety of fire spells. So it's right now. Not enough. Yeah, right now I have Detonate Dead slotted in a fire spell, which is tremendously good for helping with clear. I kill one dude, it blows up, and it can end up being a chain reaction. But needless to say, I'm speeding around using Bone Shatter, and as I hit enemies, I'm casting. I have one Mjolnir slotted with double arc, and then I have my other Mjolnir slotted with Ball Lightning and Lightning Warp. I've tried many different lightning spells, and it just boils down to a Ball Lightning is probably the best for boss damage. And I don't know what it is about Lightning Warp, but it just procs like crazy over a lot of other lightning spells. So not only does it help get you out of being stuck or trapped, which is one minor defensive layer, it helps with a lot of damage. But to answer your question, my biggest issue has been defenses. Max res, I'm just shy of 3,000 HP, which is extremely low, I know. And yeah, sure. But what's so? Oh, and I'm maxed on armor, so I literally have 90% physical damage reduction. I have 90% elemental used, or a 90% damage reduction.
Of armor converted to elemental.
Yeah. Yep. So and max resistances, and so I'm sitting here and mapping around, and I just get these random just poof. What the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And it's rough, and I think the worst part about it is that sometimes you just don't know. But as for my Titan, which was my build prior to this, the thing was just so tanky. It was just slow. I mean, it wasn't slow, but it wasn't gotta go fast. And that kind of was the goal with this Thor of Kitava is what I've called it, which might be Thor of the Titans.
Thor of the Titan. So, if you could finish the sentence with the build you have so far, it's like my build would be insane if I could just get. What's the word? If you could just have that word, what is that word makes the build finally work?
The build works 100%.
For a boss.
I can kill bosses. I can do T15. I haven't tried pinnacle bossing. I did get a new pair of gloves and a new ring. So my single target damage isn't as low as it was. And I learned a very critical part of the build that I was not utilizing properly, which was the Orb of Storms. Don't ask me why it wasn't working the way I thought it was, but needless to say, my boss damage pretty much quadrupled. So, and on T15s. So
good.
That's wicked.
So were you charging Orb of Storms with the infusion to get the multiplicative damage? Is that what you did, or what changed?
No. So the whole purpose of using the double Orb of Storms, using the socket of gems that you can cast two, was to put both of them down to generate the infusions for my other spells. So once
big brain.
I was only putting one down, and then I was attacking, and then when that one expired or shortly after, I would put another down, and it was just a slight switch of, okay, put both down, and then go in, and the boss health bar goes, instead of... But to answer your question, the one sentence that I would say that would make the build just S tier would be a prevention of one-shot. Because I've managed to get life leech, and it helps a ton, but it obviously, if you just don't have enough HP or enough defenses to tank a singular hit, you just go poof.
Yeah, I remember your previous stream there. I was watching you fight the large soul core boss there on one of the maps, and your health orb looked quite literally like a game of ping pong. So the leech was there. I think it took you roughly about a minute, I would say. A few close calls. The leech, again, the health regen in the leech is great, but I do agree. For the stats that you just deliver us, especially the 90% DR, I just feel like again, just the damage application in this and the armor formula, right? I think all that needs to be reworked. They need to look at that again. Even in general, I've always laughed about this, especially with the community. Is everything just hits so freaking hard and too hard. Even right from the beach, right? You are a 300-pound, 7 foot tall warrior, and a tiny little 2-foot tall mud crab can shoot 3 little darts at you, and boom.
Well, I mean, have you ever tried to walk through a burning house on fire naked? You don't have any gear on. Of course, that fire is going to hurt your ass.
No, but I'm just saying, and it relates to the fact that you are it doesn't matter if you are butt naked on the beach, level 1, or if you are almost max level with almost as max defense and armor and stuff you possibly can. 90% damage reduction, well PDR of course, all max resistances, all that, but everything will still just hit like a goddamn truck. In that regard, it needs to be tuned down a little bit, in my opinion.
I will say.
But otherwise, I think you're looking pretty good so far, though.
Yeah, I will say though, in regards to armor, I think there's a misunderstanding in the calculation. I've experienced this myself. I've heard other people chime in on this too, from what knowledge I know. But even though the sheet says 90%, you actually want more armor than that, because for some reason, as you scale through the T15 maps, it's calculating at 90%, but in reality, it's not at 90% for the monster type or monster levels you're fighting. So I know my base level is at 90%, but because of the monsters and the modifiers and all that stuff, it may only be calculating at 55 or 60%, which is a huge difference. And I've experienced this on my Titan, when I had my Titan at like, I think I was like 80,000 armor, and it was capped at 90%, but it felt way tankier than when I had like 30,000 armor at 90%.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
ton. Yeah, 80K.
Kriparin has a great video on the formula. Now, that video itself, basically in a nutshell, if you're looking at, like you just said, if you're showing 90% armor, no, you're most likely only actually mitigating probably around the 50%ish, 40%. And before the changes, which were the changes to armor were now I think it was maybe early 0.2. Sorry, I can't recall exactly when, but even at that point in the video, this guy had well over, I think it was almost 30,000 like points of armor rating, and it was still barely doing anything, like not even passing 50%. So,
Wow.
yeah, it needs to be it needs some love.
Yeah.
So aside from that, oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't think it's like a lot of people are saying armor is just bad. I don't think it's that armor is actually bad. It just scales
Armor's good.
too high in the end
Yeah.
game, and the calculation formula isn't accurate. So it kind of screws people over thinking that I'm sitting at 90%,
Agreed.
but I'm really not. But yeah, go ahead, Barricade.
So-
Sorry about that.
Yeah, so just where I was going to go, a little segue off of that, being armor, the calculation, how it feels to do endgame content kind of got me going down this lane. It's like, I think that for a person like myself, who I've had a lot of time to play, I've been enjoying it we're talking about the softcore experience, right? T15s don't feel difficult. Juice T16s aren't really bad at all. The simulacrum's farmable. Pinnacle bosses are done. I think what Path of Exile 2 needs, and I'm not saying so much in early access, but what I think the game could use when it goes to like the market is another level of difficulty that we could engage with, particularly for a pinnacle boss experience. I find that these really like gross, insane builds need something to keep them in check. They need a boss. They need someone to shut the door on them, even let them know, hey, this is like, you need mechanics now. It doesn't matter if you can do this. I'm not a fan of phasing in a boss encounter. Like, I don't want to do a gazillion damage and wait 10 minutes for RP, then I get to do my 10 million, then wait. But it'd be interesting if grinding gear games could present a threat so interesting that would allow these top tier builds to still struggle and have that desire to conquer that next mountain. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys feel the same way, or do you feel like the game is challenging enough for everybody now? Whoever wants it.
I think the game is, honestly, I think the game is pretty challenging. Like, we can still reach some pretty ridiculous damage numbers, but even with the point we just made, how, like, the damage is just like crazy high right now with the highest stats we have. I think the game is still pretty challenging. It's not also just only about the damage they're dealing, but it's also the density of monsters, how fast they are, even without fiendish wings. They move really quickly, they attack really quickly. It is a bit of a dodge roll Souls-like simulator for most players. I see this comment a lot. But then again, if you compare it to, say, even Diablo 4, like, things can move pretty quick in there, but you are not doing much backtracking in Diablo 4, right? It is more of a shift W. You're kind of always actually pushing them. Versus in this game, you need to be a little bit more evasive. You got to be a little bit more methodical. You have to certainly be a lot more aware. And you just peepers peeled at all times, man. So I think just in general, for me, this game brings a good challenge in all aspects. Just some things are a little bit, just a little bit unrealistic in terms of a fair challenge, I guess, if you will.
Sure. Spook, what are your thoughts?
As far as challenging, I'm kind of right there in the middle. The game is challenging. They did hit their mark there, the first time through. Once you are basically able to what we call twink level or twink gear for your character the second run through, it is a bit of a joke, and you get a decent end game build going through, and T15s are easy. T16s don't feel any harder. You're literally killing the hardest pinnacle bosses in 3 seconds, and that's long. A good pinnacle boss kill would be, half a second to a full second.
He says, and that's long. 3 seconds.
It's not wrong though. It's true. It's true.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I was laughing. Yeah.
But I disagree that anything really needs to change on that behalf at this moment, and here's why.
Okay.
The game was launched with the campaign in mind for early access, and we would be brought new endgame content. So I don't think that what we have outside of the pinnacle bosses I do think need a better tiering system. I think the highest tier pinnacle boss should be almost impossible with greater rewards. And I say almost impossible, I mean like if you get a solid several mirror build put together, you'll be able to do it. Relatively good timing too. But I do agree with the boss mechanics as well. I don't like my boss just running away or being invulnerable for a period of time.
Yeah.
But having something like, for example, the Maven concept from PoE 1, where you actually had to do specific mechanics or you just die. And there's no defenses around it. You just die. I do think not just the PoE 2 enjoyers, but the PoE 1 players that are playing PoE 2 as well would enjoy some of that in the game as well, because that's what makes boss fights crazy, right? And it makes it fun. It makes it engaging. I don't think making your boss just invulnerable for 17 seconds while you're sitting there with your thumb twiddling like this, trying to figure out what the hell's going on and waiting until I can just put the next, half a bar of damage on them. I don't think that really fits.
Fair.
And I agree, and I totally agree. I would say, like, other than one mana left, Connor, who tanks the Maven Wave just to show that you can still tank the Maven Wave. Most people die to the shot, the one shot in PoE. That's fine. And I agree to your point where it's not something that we need to think about now, because I meant when the game rolls out in early access. Okay, it's fine. Let's get the game out, and then let's get the game like juiced, right? Reaper, what are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of feel the same way that Spooker does, in a way that I'm not a mechanics. Like, I love mechanics as far as just in general, but not a high focus of mechanics to make that fight viable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You
Rather just have a difficult fight where we beat each other's ass, and then the mechanics are there too, not mechanics, and then we do a little bit of battle.
Okay, so you're just referring to like the doing of some fight, and then you're just waiting on this mechanic, and then doing some fight. You are looking for, like, we're doing this fight, and then along comes this mechanic while we're still fighting.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
exactly.
I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you're playing, Reaper, when you're playing Path of Exile 2, is there an example of a boss where you thought this felt good versus one where you felt like that's something I don't want to see any more of? Like,
that's hard, because this being, the gosh, I could give examples of one I like and one I don't like. So,
Jeopardy.
Everyone hates the monkey.
I love the monkey. Yeah, we love the monkey.
But in general, that's a pretty good fight. He has a mechanic, but you're just fighting. And if he hits it, he hits it. It's done. Now, that in general is what I mean. And then, like, but if you go to, like, the skeleton in Act 2, the first guy you fight on the towers, right? The big skeleton guy?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's just boring to me.
Interesting.
That's just all mechanic. You just have to wait for him to slam.
Unless you're
Torgul, the fire skeleton?
Yeah, the guy you got stuck inside of and died, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't recall.
What the hell?
It was only because he didn't have leap. I told him this. He didn't have leap.
Yeah. It's funny because
I did. It just I tried dodge rolling and disengage, and by the time leap came to my mind, it was 3 business days too late, and I died.
The other thing I do like is Fatty Patty. She's really cool.
Okay. So it sounds
really
like
her hitboxes.
Yeah,
busted.
He seems to enjoy the. And if I'm speaking on your behalf, you like the fights where it's like it's a combat, but there's also that one shot you got to be aware of. You like that
it's
that
just
risk.
Like it's super interactive. It's super high risk. It's not just mundane. He's gonna slam here. He's gonna slam here. It's like it's all around.
Fair.
And it's, I love that.
Have you made it to Act 4 yet?
No.
Okay. I was going
But
to speak on a boss. There's a one boss that I don't care for, and the mechanic, the idea is cool, but in theory, it's the whole like
you can
invulnerable.
speak on it all you want. I'll tell you that because I won't have a clue of what you're saying anyway until I get there. But I have tried. It's very hard being on this podcast while trying to keep myself surprised, and I have to still do research and not dig myself into a hole that I'm not surprised with this anymore. So but I have seen a couple things about episode or Act 4. I don't know why you call it episode. Act 4, and it was like it looked really good.
It is really good. It is absolutely astonishing. I will say with Act 4, you're still going to run into a ton of surprises as long as you're not like watching video footage of things.
Yeah.
If you don't, if you stay away from that, reading about it, you can read about it all day. It's still going to be like, holy shit. But
yeah. Now let's talk about surprises for some of us. This isn't for everybody, and we don't got to spend a lot of time on this, but it's something I wanted to speak about today. Was the conversion into Solo Self-Found hardcore. So I'll set it going. For me, I think it's. First of all, I love playing with community members. I think this is my go-to every season. But let's talk about how it personally affects you as somebody enjoying the game. I don't know that there is not. I think this is the best mode in the game. I think it is the best way to play this game. I think that if you've played the game, you should give this mode a shot, regardless of how good you think you are at the game. Having to find like everything yourself, having to overcome the challenge yourself, and then you die if you didn't, and you have to learn from that death, I think is one of the most rewarding. The highs are highs, the lows are lows. I think the challenge is level by level, piece of gear by piece of gear, currency drop by currency drop. It is the most fulfilling format, and I know H-Berg, you're doing this too. So I'm on a Lightning Arrow. Deadeye was my second character. My first one got axed by the monkey. He got shit on. Lightning Arrow Deadeye. Yeah, it's a new one. So it's the third edict. It's supposed to be pretty strong. I've never actually played one before, so it's my first time doing it. Crazy good. But the mode itself is addicting.
Unpopular.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't really care what anybody else is doing. I play what I like. So I'm trying it. So far, so good. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on it? Yeah. For H-Berg, you're the one in there. Go for it. What do you think?
Honestly, I have to agree. Every single point you just said, starting even from the community factor. Like, I am pretty sure I will always start softcore public to be with the community, roll with the community, ascend with the community, help carry or be carried. Once in a while, it feels good too. I like being community involved. We're creating content out here at the end of the day. So I like enjoying the rush of that, the inclusion. Right, and then it gets to a point where I need that next thrill, right? I need the bigger rush, right? I got to surf the next biggest wave there, And I agree 200%. Hardcore solo self-found so far for me is the most fun way to play this game. Everything feels so impactful. Every single exalt you get, along the journey, whether if it's early or late, it just feels so. It's so important, Even when you're like at one point, I think like I was sitting there at one point with over 20 exalted, right? And I was still saying to myself, I don't think I should use these yet. I don't know if I should use these yet. I don't know if I feel comfortable using on this piece of gear. It's only level 60 something. This is only level 70 something, etc., etc. But then, if the unfortunate happens, you kind of say to yourself, oh, I probably should have used it. I could have maybe crafted something here, cooked something better that would have prevented me from dying, would have been either doing more damage or maybe had more res in this area, maybe with some more ES and life in this area sort of thing. And so all those emotions kind of go through your head, and it's good, man. It's something that I think every single player should experience, even if you are not a hardcore player. Trust me, you will realize very fast that you are a hardcore solo player, perhaps not hardcore public, right? Because you're in your own league. You're in your own league, and you got to move slower. You got to think more tactical. You have to. And you actually just have to pray to the RNGesus, harder than you ever have, because you will have those days, even in some of those characters that are super rich with currency drops and great luck, and some that are a little bit dry, and you just got to make do with what you got. I've had literally, it's kind of 50-50 for me. One of my hardcore solo characters, they made it to well over level 70 something. I was pretty fortunate. I had great currency. Things were dropping all the time. And then I pushed another one who unfortunately died to around mid 50s. And I think without the guaranteed exalted drops, and excluding coffers, because again, folks, quick point here actually, you should always do your abysmal content in solo leagues, because even if it's an arsenal, like regardless, those abysmal coffers, troves, armory, arsenal, all that, you still have a great chance of dropping currency. And do not forget to hit the bells as well in Act 4. Just want to throw that out there. But aside from that, one of those characters I played, we kept track. I think I can count on one hand how many times like actual rare currency drop, whether it was alchemy, exalted, or something. So that's another challenge it brings, right? Because everything is so crucial. Everything matters. There's no currency exchange. You can't trade with a buddy. There's no guild stash. It is just you. Just blood, sweat, and tears with a little, with RNG in the mix there. And again, you guys should, I hope our viewers here can experience that at some time, and hope to see some of those comments here regarding hardcore solo, because trust me, you will enjoy it. Yeah. That's my point. What about Spooker and Reaper? You guys get a chance to rock any of the hardcore solo yet, or in the past?
Yeah. I have my start every season now is not hardcore now, but I've done that, and it's just feels I don't know, too rough for me at the start. But what you're saying, reward wise, absolutely is there. But
Yeah.
the way I start now is just SSF. But no matter what, and whether it's not hardcore, but it is SSF, because it's just better. It is better.
Why do you feel like SSF is better for you?
It's so rewarding, self-rewarding, self-gratifying, and you have to earn your way. And whether it's RNG or not, you feel like you earned it. I'll tell you that, no matter what.
Got it.
And because you kind of have, but there's no help. There's no, and it's not the thing that there's no help, absolutely zero. You can look things up. You still have friends. You still have people like, hey, I'm doing this. I need help with the build. I'm stuck here. And you can still get help with your.
Oh, of course.
But
there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I was just curious. Yeah.
Yeah, but the rewarding feeling of accomplishing what you set out to try to do and the build that you're making, that you make the build and you craft whatever or you earn whatever and make it work from the ground up. So that's
Yeah. Yep.
Mr.
Honestly,
California,
well
what do you think? What's the less D think over there?
California love.
California. Anyways, I enjoy all the modes. I've played all of them except for that short Solo Self-Found word. It's not that I don't enjoy it. I've played it in Path of Exile 1, and I do enjoy it. I love the idea of the Solo Self-Found. I think Last Epoch has two types of Solo Self-Found, which is actually something I would like to see traverse its way over to Path of Exile. And that is, you have your account self-found, and then you have your character self-found, meaning which, if I have two character self-founds, they cannot interact with each other. They do not share the same stash. They are solely by themselves, character alone. And then you have the account self-found, which means that two account self-found characters can interact with each other and gear and stash while still only yourself and your account. And I think that's a really cool idea, especially when you're trying to practice. We'll say, for example, it's late league, you're prepping for the next league, and you want to start fresh. Now you can just take a mental note. Okay, this is what I have. This is what but it's still never really the same, because you go into your stash. It's like, wait, did I find this? Is this new? Do I have enough of these? Rather than just, okay, I know it's brand new because it's character self-found. I have nothing in my stash. I have no gold. I have nothing. Just by creating the new character. I think if you want to learn the game, Path of Exile 1 or 2, you play Solo Self-Found, and you will learn the game quicker than you could ever possibly imagine. It just teaches.
Yep.
I don't necessarily agree with hardcore because some people just don't have the time to start over and over again, which is fine. But I do agree that it will
Fair
teach
point.
you more so because now you know that boss does this move that kicks your ass no matter how tough you think you are. And then you learn, okay, that's a dodge, not a tank. And you will
That's
learn
right. Yep.
more. And I do agree with that. However, you still learn that in the softcore side because you just got your cheeks clapped. Now you got to start the boss fight over. But it's not as impactful because you just have to start over that fight rather
right.
than back to the beach. So
Yep.
I see both sides, and I do appreciate both sides. I have not really dove into Solo Self-Found and PoE 2 yet because it doesn't matter how often I play or how far into the league it is. I always see people needing or wanting help, and that's my downside. That's just, I
I do.
have a bunch of extra divs in the stash, and they're like, oh man, if only I had 2 more divs to get this item. Hey,
Yep.
you got a potion that's got instant heal? I give you 2 div for it.
Yeah, happens all the time. Yeah, for me, it's like when I'm playing softcore trade, and I'm doing maps and I'm engaging with people. We're doing XP maps, whatever. But then a divine drops, and I'm going to say this. I wonder if you guys resonate. The divine drops, and I feel numb. I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I've already got enough of that shit. So when I get that feeling, I'm like, that's where I hear the hardcore bell ringing. It's like, this doesn't matter enough anymore. There's no highs and lows. It's just a mid. It's a median. It's like, that's when I get it in gear with hardcore, because now you got to tighten up. Like, you better get your shit together, because this game will tell you, you don't have your shit together. Back to the beach. And then you start getting eternally frustrated because you know you can beat that bloated Miller, but he rolls you into the wall and you die. You're like, I'm dying to the first, it didn't happen, by the way, not this time, but it happens. It's like, yeah,
Not this time, yeah.
not this time, but it did happen where I was trying to advance a character for stream, and I was playing offline, and I engaged the monkey on my first Deadeye lightning arrow guy, and I took him in a lane where the wall was here, tree trunk was here, and my Deadeye's here. He's rolling up this way. Well, I can tell you with extreme certainty now, I will never take that fight on again. Not in that situation, because there is no answer. I can't roll by him, and I will get hit with that very, very lengthy rectangular apartment building. It just annihilates me. So that's my lesson, and I know this. Like, I should have known this already, but complacency kills, and so does typing back to your friends. And anyway, so that's why I was curious. You should try it. Not hardcore, but SSF for sure. You will appreciate currency a lot more than just, I need 20 exalts to get that next thing. It's how can I use, like you were saying, how can I use those exalts to just, like, is it worth it on this fire quiver? Like, okay, I hit it with the exalt, I got flat 1 to 3 fizz. You're like, oh, like if that would have been like 7 to 21, I could use it. So I can totally, yeah, right.
Exactly. And
you don't get that in trade, because you could just trade for a way better quiver for 2x. And so it's just not the same, and there's nothing wrong with this. It's just not the same. And
I was gonna say that too. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, it doesn't. I don't feel like the game is too easy or empty for me because I have access to currency, or even just open trading and stuff in general. But like you said, it's the shift. It's the shift of tide that it just amplifies the experience,
And I think this is my take on it now, playing Path of Exile. I'd love to hear what your guy whatever he thinks here. I feel like Trade League has a consequence of shortening somebody's seasonal enjoyment because of access to items, if they're lucky enough to hit currency that awards that. Solo Self-Found extends somebody's enjoyment because they have to grind through the content several times to acquire power enough to be relevant enough to overtake the content. And that's campaign and mapping. So outside of that, I think hardcore is the ultimate extension, where it's like, you find everything, you have to survive everything, congrats, you did it. And so do you guys find that in the modes of the game available now, do you find that that is true? Do you think shortcutting occurs in the Trade League, specifically not so much hardcore but softcore? Like, do you find that personally you're in and out of the game quite quicker because of this?
I think.
Sorry. Yep.
No, you're good. You're
good.
You.
Yep.
I think that it absolutely does shorten the league life for an individual, but at the same time, it also depends on the individual. Some individuals, for example, my dad is actually a very big player where he will grind. He is the true definition of a
Shout
grinder.
out to Pops.
Back in Path of Exile
Props.
1, back in Path of Exile 1, his biggest defeat, and this is the one reason that he chooses not to play it as often, is the linking of sockets. For those of you that don't know, in Path of Exile 1, we have the skill system with up to 6 links. You have the main skill with 5 links, but the difference being is you have to create those links, and there's a new set of currency that adds and removes links, and you can't guarantee the number of links or the colors early on in a league. You just don't have the currency to do that, and that's one thing that deters him from it. So where I'm going, though, is that he was willing to grind the extra currencies to either pay for a new piece that has it on it already, or pay the currency for somebody to do it for him. Regardless of how much it costs, if it was 10 times the cost, he would grind out that 10 times the cost because he enjoyed the game. And I think that's where some people differ. They just enjoy the game. On a side note, though, I know we're talking about the shortening of a league because of trade. I really think that there's an issue with the drop rates on different things, which I know will be fine-tuned and tweaked, which would help with the things. Those of you that have played previous leagues, point 1 or point 2, Perfect Jeweler's Orbs, they were like high tier currency.
Yeah. Yep.
I was shocked to see when I went to go buy a Perfect Jeweler's Orb because I had a few divine. I was like, 20x.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Cheap, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now they're even lower. Well, and as you progress through the league, obviously less and less people need them. So I think the last time I looked, I bought like 9 of them for like 35x. I was like, okay.
Wow. But it's so powerful for a build, right? Like every tier of supports just makes that skill so much better. And so to get your hands on that kind of power for that cheap of a currency it kind of makes you wonder, why is the tink sound going off? It's like, okay, it's still very good, but it's not valuable good, right?
Right, and I think
Yeah.
it goes to your whole feeling, like in the later league, you see that divine drop while you're playing, and it's like, meh, okay, another divine. I think if we adjust the drop rates in certain things, and I'm not saying necessarily like divines or any specific currency, but I think things do need to be fluctuated a bit, which would increase the longevity of a league, because I can't go buy Perfect Jeweler's Orb for 5x. I'm still
Yeah.
having to save up, one. I think I remember, was it last league 0.2 that they were roughly a divine, 1 to 3 divine early on, and then as it progressed through the season, it dropped to like around a divine, maybe a little bit less, but it was
That
still
sounds about right. Like you should always get at least a divine of a PJO, right? Perfect Jeweler's Orb. You should. Yeah. Not
right.
anymore.
So yeah, with 0.3, it's been crazy with the different currency and being able to just print your item with enough currency now too. That's best crafting league in all of existence of Path of Exile from every aspect. But as far as the longevity goes, kind of a side note to bounce back on this topic, and then I'll let you go, Hberg. I think that Solo Self-Found is great. I love hardcore as well. But what do you guys think as far as reducing these drop rates with what we have in PoE 1, a Ruthless mode, making Solo Self-Found even more interesting?
Okay.
Ruthless. So, in again, not too familiar with PoE1. So with Ruthless, you cannot buy. There's no skill gems and support gems at vendors and stuff, right? Is that one of the biggest changes for Ruthless?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that the scarcity of drops, you take your
Yeah.
normal drop rates and it reduces the drops by like 75%.
You get nothing. Nothing in
Oh,
Ruthless.
okay.
A
All right.
transmute orb is extremely valuable. It should almost make a tink sound.
Yeah, that
Okay,
rare.
that's all right. That's hilarious. So, well, but I actually like so hardcore solo ruthless. Bring it on. Bring it on. What's next? Right? I still have I still have goals to reach in hardcore solo in general. I have
What is one of those goals? What
I
is that?
have only hit up to T13 so far, level 87. On a hardcore solo explosive shot that I ranger that was actually last league. So this league so far, I have made it to tier 12. And my goal is to, of course, defeat the Uber Arbiter. That is the final goal, but my tier system is make it to T15, okay,
Yep.
and then defeat tier 1, all tier 1 pinnacle content. And then, of course, my final goal at the top of the food chain there would be the Uber Arbiter. So those are my personal goals. But if I were to hit those multiple times, just me as just how I am in general, I'm going to be looking for something. I'm going to be looking for something more. I might even if we don't have the ruthless mode, I am going to be maybe throwing in my own little gameplay modifiers. I recently did this event on the weekend. They're called the Gauntlet event, where there's all sorts of we spin the wheel and there's all sorts of these different rules I have to play by that modify my gameplay. Like I can't go back to town for 20 minutes until the next level up. I can't use my stash, etc., etc. So I'm always looking for ways to just entertain myself, elevate it and of course for our great viewers as well. So I think hardcore solo ruthless would be great. Yep, I most certainly would try it out. I think that's an awesome idea. Yeah. Reaper,
Yeah, I'm
what
not
about
sure.
you?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, no.
No, Reaper first.
I want to hear what you're not sure about.
Oh, I'm not sure that I want to try Ruthless just yet. I want them to get the game out first, please, and then give me all the stuff that I'm promised. Then you could add things, but other than that, I'm open for everything past that. But I want what I was promised first on a decent timeline. Yes, that's what I want.
You were promised
Fair.
nothing.
True. I want to Drew. Damn it! I want you guys to enjoy it. Go ahead.
As far as drops and everything, I want to. Well, first let's reiterate what your main topic was, because I got a whole bunch of things running in my head during that whole thing. If you can.
Sure. So the original point was, what do you guys think that Trade League versus Solo Self-Found League was reducing time for most players, generally speaking? We got Spookers on that, H-Berg, then we got into Ruthless mode, reducing drops, and now you're talking about both if you want, but it's up to you.
Yeah. So as far as trade and everything goes, one, I haven't been too involved with this new updated trade, so can't say much on that. But as far as I can tell, people are okay with that. As far as I can see, for the most part, they're happy. But I don't know because I haven't had hands-on with it, so I can't speak on me. As far as playing Trade League or non-Trade League, I think it goes back to the Solo Self-Found, is you're more rewarding not doing the Trade League, but you could limit yourself in a Trade League just the same. And if you needed absolutely in a corner, you have the Trade League there. But as far as the way I'm taking the topic that you're presenting, that's the way I'm responding to it. That's
okay.
Yeah, that was it. And so you don't play enough to really, just to be fair to you, you don't need reduced drop rates because you haven't been in a position yet to appreciate what drop rates are in an end game format. So
as far as for me, when you're playing all these perfect gems and the blah, 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 I don't get all those. And when you're saying divine hits and it's just, okay, a divine, not for me. That, but again, it comes with the time thing as well.
Yeah,
I don't play as much, so I don't see as much. It correlates.
Right, you've been extra busy this time around too, so it's like a double whammy for you this time.
But at the same time, I don't know if that's the whole point, right? You get that dopamine. I don't think I'll get rid of that dopamine, that ting, and you're like, okay, it doesn't matter what it is, but at that moment, you're shit through the moon. Because you hear that instantly.
It does go away. I think for anybody, it's like the first time you go swimming. Oh my God, this is great. But if you're swimming every day, 2 hours a day, it becomes just, I'm in the water now, and then then you have to find a way, like H-Berg's saying, he finds a way to spice it up. He can only swim with one hand. It's like that's going to become a lot more interesting real quick.
Yeah,
Like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's kind of what it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just about being inspired enough, I guess, to maybe alter it so that it feels fun for you. And so when you get a chance to get there and fully play Path of Exile 2's early access, we'll all be playing Path of Exile 1, which we'll see there as well, hopefully, because I wanted to bring this up. Perfect segue. How many of you guys are going to be enjoying the Halloween release day of Path of Exile 1's new league? Are you guys getting in there rated like league launch? Or are you guys doing what I'm doing, which is I'm only there for a little bit, then I'm going to go support the community and go do Halloween IRL? Like, what do you guys think about that?
I will actually. So, Halloween is my wife's favorite day of the year, and we've always done something on Halloween together. So, unfortunately, I will be late to the party. Yeah, Halloween, I'll be doing the good hubby duties. Yep. Devoted to the role, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What day is Halloween on?
31st.
Well, yeah.
I think it was a Friday. It should be a Friday this year.
It's the 31st.
Friday this year. Yeah, it's a Friday. Beautiful.
It's a Friday.
Yeah.
Oof,
Hell yeah.
that one's hard. My daughter is 13, so she is still extremely into Halloween. The past few years, we've been going out of our neighborhood to bigger neighborhoods. So I will probably be late to that launch as well.
Fair. Yeah.
Reaper, what about you?
I'm all in.
Beautiful. That's a great answer.
Do you know what you're going to play?
No, not even.
Okay.
That's an even better answer.
Duelist.
Yeah, because I think I'll have to look at more of what they have coming as they give us more info to be more excited about it. But as of right now, I don't know.
So little Randy knocks on your door, trick or treat. Are we saying like, don't knock on my door, I'm busy kind of thing? Or what how does that work for you?
I mean, yes. Yeah, I just won't have the light on.
It's better
good,
better you get Randy than Chad though.
Yeah. Chad kicks in the door. Where's the candy?
Yeah. There you go.
Awesome. So he's just dialed in. Yeah, I don't have that luxury. So interesting. Yeah. Cool. Well, yeah. So it sounds like we don't feel like we were talking about this a few podcasts ago. We felt like maybe the time disparity between Path of Exile 1 and 2 months wasn't enough time. We'd feel restricted. I don't think that's the case for me, but it is an accelerated window, isn't it?
Yeah, it's shortened. And if you don't play as much like me, I can see that side where it's like, okay, well I barely played and now I'm got to go figure this out. I can see that. But at the same time, once you actually get into it, no matter how much time you play, it's going to be waiting for the next thing, no matter what. So I think it's a good time frame now that we've had a little bit to sit on. Like, I think, anyway.
What's the rest of the panel think? Do you guys like it?
The 2 months or the 4 months?
Both.
For me, especially this go around in 0.3, I haven't had nearly the amount of time. Now it's my own doing, but it is what it is. I haven't had nearly as much time investment into Path of Exile 2, so I feel like I still have several weeks that I could definitely enjoy Path of Exile 2, but because I do enjoy the starting fresh, the newness, Path of Exile 1 and 2, I will still dive in there and kind of cut my PoE 2 league short, potentially. I always love doing league starts. I like to get to the end game in both aspects, but if for some reason, whatever they're doing for the special league, which I hope is great because it's Halloween launch, hint, maybe not, we'll see. I'll just go back into PoE 2 because I still have a lot more that I'd love to do. So, but I will definitely be enjoying it. And as far as what goes, I think I'm going to go back to the OG number one choice, Deadeye Ranger.
Wow. Gotcha. And now, Hberg, you're not big on PoE1. Is this the time where you kind of flip the gear and go, I'm doing it?
We were actually just talking about this the other day. I most certainly want to give it another go. Yeah, I'm hoping this next league I can stack up at least 100 hours more or so. It just all depends on what else is going on here. I definitely by the 31st. What are we looking at here, gents? 2 weeks away, pretty much. I most certainly am still going to be riding that hardcore solo PoE2 high, like for sure. I'm currently working on a warrior over there, and it's one of my favorite classes currently in Path of Exile 2. So it's probably going to be a little bit hard for me to pry my fingers away from it, but I definitely want to get my feet wet in this upcoming league for sure.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like a stop; it's just a potentially pause, right? I want to see what's going on, and maybe I come back to Path of Exile 2. There's never a wrong way to go. You're just checking stuff out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. Same. A few things though. I want to put a pin in some of these things we talked about that we didn't get an answer for. First one was Hberg talking about the biome change, the ability to change the biomes on an atlas. That's kind of like what we started off with. There's something in Path of Exile 1 called an Orb of Horizon. You can do that now. So if there's a certain map boss that you want to farm, in your case a biome, use an Orb of Horizon on that waystone, and it would force the biome for you. So that kind of tech already exists. So I don't think it'd be much for GGG grinding your games to implement that. I don't think that's a big thing. And it's like, it would be a very desirable currency, because depending on what you want, I think most people go swamp and water, by the way, to get currency. But if other people wanted like PJOs, perfect jeweler's orbs, things like that, you could augment it. So that would be nice if they bring that in. I want to talk about Reaper. You brought in desecrated tags because you don't understand how the abyssal currency works. Yes. My friend, just right click it and apply it to something with less modifiers. You'll see this green tag come in there, and then you go and follow the storyline that you're playing, and it'll tell you exactly why that matters and how that works.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, you should use it early, because I don't know if you guys had a hard time learning this, but there's tiers of desecrated items. So the things that you get earlier don't work on later gear. So you're kind of like, it's sort of given to you to use, like learn it now so you can apply it later, right?
Which is the same concept of bringing in the tiered currencies as well. Not that you can't use exalts and stuff on higher tier gear, but it's less rewarding, and you don't want to hit that tier 11 damage mod.
Yeah, that's right. And my God, just a personal thing. Holy shit! Does a double bow, twin bow, Gemini bow ever change your damage on a ranger, guys? What's this? Like that is something special. What happened there?
Night and day.
Night and day, right? I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. And that was it. That's what I had so far for the podcast, just to touch on that. That's what I got. Do you guys have any questions you want to fire out there?
Yeah, actually. Just out of curiosity, what are the upcoming changes for the next Path of PoE1 league? Is it still going to be mercenary themed? Are they scrapping it? Are they extending it? Or
23rd?
Do you guys? Sorry.
Yeah, you said 27th, right?
23rd, I believe.
23rd, excuse me.
23rd. They haven't announced anything yet.
We got an announcement for an announcement.
We'll get announcements on the 23rd. Okay.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, they always announce the announcement, and then they tell us what's going on. So nothing just yet. I'm going to play Righteous Fire to start, for sure.
Yeah, I hear a lot about this Righteous Fire. I hear a lot about this Righteous Fire. Honestly, that seems to be the main. It's either is Righteous Fire, and there's one more. I do see.
You see Bama?
No, I do see Bone Shatter a lot as well. But there's one more there. Forgive me.
There's always
I can't recall, but.
Surprised Cobra Lash doesn't get much love. It's a fun skill to use, That's a thing, right? I'm not going to dig too much into this one, but there's a lot of conversation I get with people where it's like, this build sucks unless it's this efficient. It's just like, this game is great. Like, Cobra Lash was fun to level with, but it wasn't as good as like Magma Orb, or so. It wasn't as good as like any of these other skills that you could level with, like Bama, right? Blink Arrow, Mirror Arrow. There's just this rolling magma. Thank you. Sorry, it's been too long. It's like, I could go that way. I know I'm going to crush it, but I have a lot of fun just playing the game with this skill. And that's kind of like why I champion Spooker with his double Mjolnir, low defense. I hope he gets their guy, because he's having fun with it, And so some of the backlash I had was playing Deadeye. Guys, I never played a Deadeye. Like I literally have not played a Deadeye yet, and so it was my time to go, and it just so happened to be in a league where 60% was playing that. It's like I'm not a meta cuck, but I am a meta cuck. I'm just playing the game, you know. I'm just trying it out. And I want to just to anybody who listens or watches or hears, play what you like. Don't worry about the bullshit.
Absolutely.
Just play what the fuck you like and enjoy your time and enjoy your game. And if you want to try some really wonky support shit, all the power to you. You might unlock the next tier of power that no one even thought about because you're just playing. It could happen. So
And also, here's the thing. You can literally do just about anything that you want.
Pretty much.
If you start something and you don't fucking like it, guess what? You can make another one and do it again. There's no limits to anything. And if you have any questions about what you can't do or what you can do and what you can get away with, watch Quinn69. He will show you how not to build correctly and still make it work.
Whoa.
Yeah. Or you can watch Spooker
That's pretty
HD,
good.
Spooker HD Barricade or HBerg LT. Any of the above.
Yeah, and they will build it right and might still not work.
Shameless plug, self promo.
Oof, just enjoy your game. That's all I had. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Honestly,
Yes.
main point. I do have
Anyway,
one fun question though, gents, for you guys. In order from first, second, and third, who are your top 3 favorite bosses in the game? Style, design, fight in general. I'll start it off by saying currently my 3 favorites in terms of all 3 of those categories. Number 1 would be the Great One, right on the Wakupana Island, the Great White Shark. Number 2 would be Sand Mother, and number 3 would be the Diablo-looking guy, the one on during Act 4 there in the campaign. It's the Balrog. It looks like a Balrog, right? It comes through the door there in that one map when.
Does the shoot thing? Gates open up, fire guy? Is that the guy you're talking about? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So by favorite, you mean the ones that you absolutely hate the most? Because that's what it sounds like. Your answer
No. The ones you love. Yeah. First, I gotta be honest, I do love those ones. Yeah, they're great. Love those bosses. And any one of you guys, go ahead.
Okay, I'll step in because this one's fun. This one's fun.
Yeah.
I will say, as far as likes goes, and it just so happens to be some of the more difficult boss fights. I'll have to say number 1 is the dude that kicks down the doors, because I had a crazy experience which made me so irritated, but I was like, damn, that's cool. Because dude kicked down the door and whooped my ass 3 times in a row, just boosh, bam! And I'm like, okay, I got to approach this differently. So I did enjoy that. Number 2 would be, I like what they were doing with the ballista mechanic boss. That boss fight was really fun.
Yeah.
But as you get later on, it's like, okay, now I'm just waiting. It's not so much as fun as engaging. He has this invulnerability period, which we were talking about we don't like. But the idea behind it is cool. I like it. And number 3, I would have to say, I just have to go with the Arbiter. It's a fun fight. It's got mechanics in it. It's got challenges, and it's all around. It's just an awesome, like the visual effects and everything. It is an awesome fight.
Yep. That's a good call. Honestly, the Executioner was in my top 3 for a while until I saw the Balrog dude. Once I saw that artwork, Gandalf came to my mind. You shall not fucking pass. And it was just it was amazing, dude. Yeah, awesome.
He's in that.
Reaper,
top
what about
5 for
yourself?
sure.
Right now it's Executioner and Fatty Patty.
Nice.
Those are my favorites.
Okay,
No,
there's
now,
the
what's
three.
it
Where's the third one?
Okay, we'll put the monkey. We'll put the monkey 3.
Okay.
Okay, good call.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you say Fatty Patty. Which one are you talking about?
From the Filth Queen.
Yeah,
I think so. Okay, I thought so. All right, just making sure. There's a couple that are large in charge. So
I hope it wasn't talking about me.
It's like you could have been anybody. You don't really know. Interesting. Okay, so for me, the number 1 boss that I have the most fun fighting is the monkey. he changes my whole run. If I don't play tight, that guy can change my future. So that guy's number one.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead. What do you got? What do you got?
No,
You agree?
I was yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay. But they're ranked for different reasons. Like I like the artwork and the sound and like the voice lines for different bosses than the monkey. But I respect the monkey's presence enough to say he deserves a number one shot. Is what I would say. I think I like Count Geonor for the shit talking him and his wife do. I think that's excellent. Like he just leaves all his cards on the table. It's a cool fight. It's transformative. It's nice. I think that's probably my number two right now. And number three top, probably. I want to say Dominus, even though he's an asshole. Like he's got he's got that Cirrus kind of mechanic where you got to run through the waves if you're not fast enough with the damage. I think he's cool, like the telekinetic kind of telekinesis thing. I think Dominus is fun, and yeah, I'm looking forward to Lemurius, and Tavakai is also a really visually heavy fight, but very cool. But I had to throw a fourth one in there. Sorry. Yeah, that's me. Yep.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what? I'm just really happy I didn't hear anybody say Yama, so that's all.
I didn't have any good experience with him. Like I just didn't. He was jokes. He just got annihilated in SSF hardcore. And when I first started the fight, I didn't realize what the hell I was dying to. Then I was like, okay, I get it. And so that was just kind of a gotcha fight. So I didn't really like it. But yeah.
I will say, once after learning his white phase there, the mechanics, the fight did feel much better. I haven't ripped to him since the first campaign experience on season launch. So
yeah.
It's good.
Know.
And one thing too for our viewers, if you weren't too sure, if those guys there on the podiums, his little shadow clones that are throwing those chaos balls at you, they have a proximity detonation. So just get a little bit close to the pyre and then keep moving. They're gonna jump off and they'll fuck off. But yeah, they can prove to be a bit of a nuisance during the fight. So just in case you didn't know and you still haven't passed them yet, or if you guys are getting ready for the hardcore scene.
How did you learn that?
Just by rotating, just dodging his skills in general and some of his chaos progeny. I noticed that every time I get in close. No, I didn't learn that by dying. Yeah. I didn't learn that by dying. Yeah. I learned that by calculated gameplay. Anyways, yeah. Honestly, guys, great list. Reaper, I appreciate the execution in there too, man. Yeah, he's freaking awesome, dude. The execution's kind of always given me this. Yeah. Old medieval / Silent Hill pyramid head sort of feel to it. So
they did such a good job on it. And then the intro scene when you walk up.
Oh, I know. So PoE. Great.
Like I want
off with your head. Yep.
Yeah, he was my first hardcore death.
Ooh. Yeah, you guys got some good history there.
Yeah. So
did we hear Spookers 3? Did I miss it? Is this my bad? What were your three bosses? I must have missed it. Did I hear your three?
Yep. He had mentioned the ballista, the prison guy.
What was the ballista guy? Which guy was this?
So the flooded prison. The flooded prison, yeah.
Where he goes invulnerable, and then you have to hit the ballista, and then he goes invulnerable, and you got to hit the ballista.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about, like a mortar tactician kind of guy. That's not. I was like, yeah, what the hell is that? Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Which, by the way, is a awesome build. I never played it with siege ballistas and stuff. It surprised me, man. Again, well, the changes from a few patches ago already for crossbow modifiers in general, even essences for two-handed weapons and crossbow mods are like ramping, dude. Say in the last island there, Takavai. What was his name again there?
Tavakai. Yeah,
Tavakai. Thank you. Yeah. He can be pretty dangerous, right? His final phase has some pretty crazy arena damage and coverage. But dude, without exaggerating, my tactician ripped him apart, and I did not even have GG gear. I did cook a pretty decent crossbow, but it ripped him apart. And even my first the manor, when you get to the interludes there, where you have to fight the twins there, Asinia and Homeboy there again. It was great. Same thing. It ripped him apart. So give it a shot. Give it a shot if you guys haven't tried it yet. Tactician. You will not be disappointed, honestly. A lot of fun. Mortars, I will say though, mortars, it's definitely a later game investment. The damage off the rip and the attack speed nerf to the allocated grenade skills does not feel that good. It's pretty sluggish, and they also, of course, still count as a totem being summoned. So even if you only have +1, right, in general, for the number of totems you can have summoned at once, it's not that good. You're better off with 2 siege ballistas. Siege, and then artillery is artillery is definitely not as good as siege. Siege ballistas ramp right from the get go. Yep.
Gotcha. What are you saying, Spooker?
One class I haven't really touched yet, and it was just because when I first tried the crossbows, which I'm a very fundamental guy when it comes to like especially the PoE2 approach, that when I try a character the first time, I want to play the character in its presented form. So, mercenary crossbow type thing, which obviously will change over time because obviously, there's a ton of phenomenal builds that utilize a different weapon than their starting point. But
Fair point.
back to the Chaos Bolt dude, I don't remember his name. I'm very horrible with the names of the bosses. But the dude that has that wipe mechanic, I didn't know even had a wipe mechanic because the first time I went through on my warrior, I just tanked everything he threw at me until he died. Nothing killed me. So
you
the
just tank
monkey?
Yama's everything? Yeah.
I learned that tank, there was a wipe phase on my second warrior when I was using twink gear and didn't have the defenses.
It's interesting, how this we were talking about this before, how some builds could just annihilate the content, and others you had to learn the fight, and then when you go through it on a character that annihilates the content, it's just a question mark. Like that was so easy, right? It's like the reverse happens. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, going from hardcore solo, going from my softcore start to hardcore solo, that's what I was saying. For at least I think the first two streams, I said I'm actually gonna go back on my softcore tune and run through these bosses again because my Deadeye killed them with the lightning arrow. It killed them so fast that about 90% of the bosses there in Act 4, I didn't even see their second or third phase. They were already dead. I didn't even realize that the Yama had more of those attacks, or especially even Tapakai and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, it's a interesting experience.
Yeah, but sometimes
sure.
it's nice just to give the game back a big uppercut because fuck it, right? It comes back with all these crazy bosses. Time to just melt it, Sometimes just get some.
Couldn't agree more,
give it back. Yeah. Spooker, do you have any questions?
I do have a question for everybody if you guys would like to indulge. So
I'd love to.
We've experienced 0.1 and then the changes into 0.2, and now we've transferred into 0.3, and we got a little bit of tower changes in 0.3.1. So with all the changes in the direction that they're going, overall, two questions. One, what direction would you like them to go from here as far as like the changes and adjustments that they're doing, quality of life stuff, non-quality of life stuff, doesn't matter, whatever your opinion is on that. And two, to throw the cherry on top, we answered this question in another podcast episode as well. Whether you know it's coming or you hope it's coming, what's that one thing? Is it the same that you said that you answered last time, or is it something new this time? What's that one thing that you want to see in Path of Exile 2 to come? Whether it's a quality of life feature, whether it's a new weapon, a specific new weapon, just one. You're restricted to one thing. What is it, and what do you want? And I'll go first. What I love the direction that they're going. They're kind of shifting between the PoE2 and PoE1 aspects of things. With the new tower changes, they're kind of shifting towards the Scarab uses. It's not the same. It is different. I like that it is different still, but it is a similar grounds making the game play better. So I do like the direction. I love the fact that they're listening to the feedback and they're doing a great job as to not giving completely in to what the community is asking for, but giving them alterations of said request that they're asking for. So I do love that. And the one thing that I am stoked and excited for them to bring is the druid. I can't wait. I want them. I want that
Same
in my game now. I'm ready for it.
Same.
No offense, Diablo 4, but you didn't do the druid justice.
Yeah,
So
and
true, so
you
true,
you gave
so
him hideous looking clothes. I actually I gotta agree with Spooker. It hasn't changed for me. That is still my number one. The Druid baby. I cannot wait. Ever since Diablo 2, the Druid and the Warrior / Crusader Paladin types. Those have always been my favorite. And yeah, after going into pretty much a year here for EA, playing all classes so far, and multiple hours. I can't wait. It's going to be refreshing. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be visually stimulating. It's going to be heavy. Yeah, it's going to be so freaking fun, dude. Yep.
Reaper, what do you think?
Well, I think if we can
Nice.
somehow integrate a true multiplayer aspect, would be great.
Gotcha.
what do
And
you
what about the
Elaborate.
yeah, go ahead.
What?
Elaborate on what you're
Elaborate?
saying.
Elaborate.
Describe
what,
more. Yeah.
what do you mean by that? Like,
Well, we all love playing together,
right?
right?
Oh, you mean the
Like-
visual? Yeah, the visual.
No, like if we could just play together more, a lot easier. And it does. Okay, what you're saying is, does the visuals do make a difference? So that would have to be touched upon, obviously. But I just mean multiplayer in general. Whatever comes with that to fix and whatever is just comes with it. But I would like to see more of a multiplayer aspect to it, brought in as a core part of the game. Essentially, like that could be something where this quest is a multiplayer quest or something like that. Could be cool.
So correct,
all right. Yeah, yeah.
correct me if you're wrong.
Yeah.
I think you're not necessarily meaning like just playing side by side with another character, because that is in the game. You can just team up with your party members and play the game. You're saying a specific multiplayer aspect to where you do specific tasks as a multiplayer group. For example,
that
like
too
maybe
added in, yeah. But even the way that it's in the game now is great. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just
there's
not
totally
as
something wrong with it.
expanded as it should be.
Agreed.
Describe
Visuals and all that stuff. But I mean, like it's hard to, like, if I don't know who you are, I'm not playing with anybody. That's what I mean. Like I just
never take candy from a stranger. That's for sure.
Except for the Halloween that we do every. Okay, so
Yeah.
can you expand on that? Because I really don't know what you're saying, and I want to learn. Because I could team up with you right now, even if you're a stranger, and you just asked or advocated for.
That's not what I'm meaning. I just
That's
mean
what.
like,
That's what I'm asking for. Go ahead. Yeah.
Like if the whole game is like, I don't know how to explain this. I guess more than I'm trying.
So so you're saying like how in Diablo 4 open world you can literally just see other players running around. You'd maybe do like overhead chat, or even just quickly ping them and say, here, team up, help me with this world event, and maybe we become friends, or maybe we both go on our own way after, sort of thing. Or
you can do that in a way here too, but yes.
Okay, so now
there's nobody. You can't see anybody in your instance.
As far as the seeing people, you can only do that in town, yes.
Yeah.
And only the people that might be in that realm there that you're in or whatever. But you can also still see the chat and still ping people, hey, come help me. But it's like, I don't know. Let me say, have you guys seen anything of like Destiny gameplay?
Yes, I played.
I played a lot of it.
Okay, like that.
Town is full of people. Yeah.
So you want, like I was saying, and I was pretty sure I kind of understood what you were getting at.
Yeah.
You want specific tasks and goals that are specifically orientated around multiplayer. You're not going to go do it by yourself, because either you can't or
like that could be.
That's what I got.
Well, hey, we go. Now, I guess it does go back into D4 a little bit, but it's like where you're like, I jump in a delve and stuff, and like, boom, we can matchmake. Something like that.
Delve, I like that.
Okay. I would love to see matchmaking, to be honest. Like, hey, let's go run these maps and matchmake with
right.
some other people.
We got a map run, and we match made, and we just like, bam, we just going on a map run for 30 minutes straight or something.
Yeah, well,
Gotcha.
on that topic, yeah, definitely. Well, that brings me back to PvP.
I don't like
what I wrote.
PvP.
Oh, fuck, you play with the wrong people. So here's the thing. I have two. Unless you have something else to add there, Reaper, I was going to go. But you.
No, I'm good.
You go.
I'm good.
Okay.
I just, as long as you understood what I was trying to
I didn't have
say.
a clue what you were saying until you said matchmaking. Then I was right there with you. I'm like, yeah, I get
Okay.
that. Now I know what he's talking about.
all right.
Okay. It was just the word matchmaking. Okay. So the adjustments, I would like group play and visual clarity to be addressed going forward. They haven't done a great job yet. I
100%.
don't believe, and I hope I eat my fucking shoes. I don't believe there's a fix. I think it is what it is. It's a beautiful game. It's spell dense. It's Path of Exile. It's what you get. If they find a way to make that better, their game is like echelons better than it is now for group play, which would incentivize better rarity, more drops, more dopamine, just a better time per hour spent as players in the game, I believe. And you shouldn't ever feel like you have to team up, but there should be an incentive to do so. And I think that would be a great adjustment for their franchise going forward. It's a smothering experience in Path of Exile 1 to this day. It is stifling in Path of Exile 2 to the point of people getting disconnected because of particle generation. As far as I think, computers are great at generating numbers and stuff, but we still get kicked in the middle of maps and dropped because of stuff. So that's something I've been advocating for, that the genre itself needs is PvP, which Reaper doesn't like, but that's okay. I like the idea of me and Reaper going up against Hberg and Spooker in a podcast like this, and him and I just do 2v2 just for fun, and let's see what we could cultivate. That's totally fine. That's fine. That we can get smoked, but it'd be great if we could do that, because then we could see if those words fall flat. We just don't have that ability right now, right? Path of Exile 1 had PvP, but it wasn't anywhere near what Diablo 2 offered us. And I don't think a game is actually, other than really early seasons in Diablo 4, there hasn't been a game yet to quantify the PvP need in this genre. So we need that. And that's what I think, that's where I'm at. I'd like to see both.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you.
I'd have to honestly, honestly, I agree with both of those there as well.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Like if you're playing team-based activity and you can see the floor and you can see the problems, how much better is this game? It's so much better, right?
So much better.
Same for that. Yeah. Yeah. Reaper, do you have any questions you want to throw at the room or no?
No. I think yeah. Okay.
You do.
Good.
Yep,
No, I
thinking yes is
So,
Okay. That's okay. Got it.
I have
I'm
one
good.
last topic. I know Hberg's over there. You're itching. You're ready to go. I get it.
no, I'm not itching. No, it's okay. Appointment isn't for an hour, so I'm not.
Okay. Well,
I'm here, baby. I'm here.
on the PvP topic, did you guys get to see the vision that Blizzard, Diablo 3, I think?
The Diablo 3 Arena, yeah.
The Diablo that, when I first saw that, I was stoked for it. If we could get something like that, if we could push GGG to get something to that effect into Path of Exile 2, I would be a lost boy. I don't think I'd ever launch another game. It would
training
be...
grounds, dueling grounds sort of thing, right? They called it? So dueling grounds or training grounds?
No, it was like a Coliseum thing where you could do like 1v1, 2v2. It was a whole own arena. And
oh,
you
okay.
could team
All right.
up,
My bad. Yeah.
And then they just scrapped it, which I.
Yeah, it was developed and playable at BlizzCon for Diablo 3. People were playing it, and the only other franchise, the only other game to do it was Diablo Immortal, which unfortunately has the pay-to-win element, so people got out of it for that reason. But it's probably just whatever you think. It's probably my best ever mobile ARPG that I've ever played. Like, nothing's even close to that. It was such a good game, but it's the only PvP that was out there, and it was domination, capture the flag. But yeah. I agree with you, Spooker. Yeah, 100. Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. 100%. You build a tank warrior guy that just his whole job is to just fucking heavy stun the team when somebody comes in there like does DPS or something. That'd be great. Like, that changes the way we itemize, right? Anyway, I could go off for a fucking hour on this, but I won't.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, great concept, man. That would be fun. And again, like we already have we have races every league, multiple of them too. There would definitely be some tournaments, some competitive side to it, some casting, right? I think it would take off. I think it would be great.
It would bring sponsors to the game. It'd bring sponsors to the genre. It'd be exciting.
Yes.
What I wrote down was player versus player in-game and out-of-game rewards. Like I've always had that idea that grinding gear games, because it would cost them like nothing, would have just fly out a team, fly out another team, put on at ExileCon, put up a top 8 PvP event, and that crowd would just be championing their champs, right? And they would want to support them. And then like the idea has been so crazy, but after the winners decided, everybody who has a Path of Exile 2 account gets a free ExileCon MTX on their account, for the championship
or Twitch
team.
badge.
Or Twitch, whatever it is, just something
Chat
because
badge, yeah, something like that.
Because the gaming world came together and cultivated this result, and we all got the privilege of that. So stuff like that, yeah. Anyway, an hour.
Great ideas, great ideas, gents.
Yeah, no.
I love the input. Yep.
And so, shall I sign us off, guys? You want me to go for it? Want me to close us out?
You gonna do the honors there?
Do your best.
Okay, so
All right.
again,
follow the beacon of light here, folks.
That's right. For HBerg LT, Reaper, and Spooker HD, I want to say thank you to everybody who watches, listens, and enjoys this podcast. Without you, there'd be no us. Don't forget that. And absolutely to the gentleman in the room, I can't wait to see you on Friday. If you're going to TwitchCon, anybody out there, again, extending the courtesy to you to come say hello, because we'll be there in real life to hang out with you. So
Can't wait, baby.
appreciate you guys taking the time. Much love. Take care. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Peace out.